To me, I'm not sure that I care if it's a liberal or a conservative, because who cares? The guy's a madman either way, right?
I agree.
So like, would it make it better for us on the left if he was a conservative? Only in that I guess we wouldn't have as many absurd attacks from the right wing to fend off and to deal with, and etc. But what does it matter in the real world as to could we have prevented it? Is there something we can learn from it for next time? No, not really.
Ladies and gentlemen, yet again, another wonderful take from my good friend. Is it Cenk or Cenk? I don't know. So he just made an absurd statement for someone who has been doing news media, political news media, for, what has it been, 15, 20 years? I mean, listen to what he just said. If we find out that the shooter is conservative, so talking about the shooter that tried to assassinate Donald Trump, what if we find out he's a conservative? Is that somehow, is there some kind of benefit for the left? And he says that perhaps there's a benefit because there's one less thing that the left has to sort of fend off in terms of attacks from the right. But that's absolutely absurd. I mean, that is something that someone would say who has no idea how American politics works or how the conservative movement, the so-called conservative movement in this country operates. There is almost no situation where a conservative does something crazy like try to assassinate a former president or set off a bomb or do a mass shooting. There's absolutely near zero possibility that a conservative does something like that and the right-wing media does not still pretend as if it's someone on the left. I mean, look at January 6th, filled with notorious Trump supporters. So not just people with Trump supporter flags, people that are well-known Trump supporters there. And they tried to make that as it was all Antifa, right? And that's sort of the perfect example of how facts and truth don't matter to the right-wing media. But in general, that is how they operate. Whenever there's someone that does some kind of violent act, a shooting or something of that sort, and it come to find out they're a right-winger, they're conservative, just about every single time, they will always pretend like it's someone on the left, like it's a false flag, or they're trying to make it look like it's a conservative, but it's really not. Either the person's like a false flag, so a plant, it's a deep state operation, or it's the media trying to make the person seem like a conservative, but they're a left-winger. They will do 6 degrees of separation. I mean, this person could have 30 years ago, there's a picture of them standing next to, Nancy Pelosi's third cousin. And it's like, oh, clearly this person's a left-winger. I mean, case in point, I don't have to go that far. What has been the rhetoric about this Republican that tried to assassinate Donald Trump? Oh, well, he donated to Act Blue. He donated to a progressive deal. And I'm sure once they find out about the thing about him wearing masks, it's like, this doesn't sound like a conservative. He's wearing masks. He's donating to a progressive, whatever. Just completely ignore the fact that he's a registered Republican. So I'm sure they'll say things like, the registered Republican thing is a setup to smear the right. He's actually obviously a left-winger, and he just changed his party affiliation to confuse people, or maybe the deep state, faked it. How do we know he was actually a registered Republican? So again, for anyone that has any knowledge at all about American politics, they would know that it is absolutely not beneficial to the left that someone who commits a violent act is found to be a conservative, because they'll simply deny it. And they'll simply just flip it and just ignore it. Like, oh, no, he's not. He's not a conservative. Nope. I think wasn't there a guy with like Nazi tattoos or something like that, and they still wanted to say that, this person's a left-winger. So that's absurd. That is absolutely absurd. That is almost as if he thinks that truth matters to the right-wing media, right? They don't care about facts. They don't care about truth. Whatever happens that makes them look bad, they'll just ignore it, pretend it doesn't happen, or say it's not exactly what it is. But this is the guy who is the founder of the biggest progressive media network that has been doing this for decades. That is his take on the situation. Just like his take on swapping Joe Biden being ridiculous. He claimed, 2 weeks ago, that Joe Biden was going to be stepping down. Joe Biden is not stepping down. He's not even close to thinking about stepping down. But he'll continue to be arrogant and continue to tell everybody, no, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Right. The guy's an idiot. He has had good takes. He is not completely worthless for sure, but he definitely has a track record of saying absolute nonsense. And this is yet another example of one of those many, many cases where he has a very, very bad take that it just makes it seem as if, he just started doing this yesterday. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.